Hey, all my math magicians out there! Welcome back from spring break. Hope you're excited to do some more math. Let's get right into it. So we are doing lesson 15, and it is April 20th, and it's Monday. Happy Monday! This week we do have Earth Day on April 22nd. We also have Kennedy's birthday. Happy birthday! So because it's Earth Week or Earth Day is on Wednesday, we're calling it Earth Week, people. So wear your blue, wear your green. Let's support our planet. Do some extra recycling this week. Do what you can. Bring some cool, fun facts to our sessions about the planet. You could set a cool nature background as your virtual background. It'll be great. It'll be fun. All right, I'll see you there. So, it is Monday. What are we doing today? So we are going to be using the direction of a line to determine if the slope is positive or negative. And then we're just going to practice calculating slope, and it's going to be from either a graph or a table. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. And our CFS for today, determine if the y is increasing or decreasing. So if it's increasing as the x is increasing, then it's positive. If it's decreasing while the x is increasing, then it's negative. So dependent on the x, dependent on the y, if it's increasing as you read to the right, then it's a positive slope. And if the y is decreasing as you read to the right, then it's a negative slope. Write the slope formula so you can easily plug and chug, and that's y2 minus y1 all over. Did you finish it? That's right, x2 minus x1. Woohoo! And so then you're going to substitute in your coordinates that you choose from the graph or the table, depending on what representation they give you. Plug it in the formula, calculate it. All right, so signs of slope. As you can see, if we're reading to the right, the y is going up, the y is going up, and the y is going up. So these are all positive slopes, and you can see it in the numbers. Positive 5, positive 1, positive 1/3. And you can see what the different numbers do to the line. So the greater the number, the steeper the line. The more of like an easy hill, then it's a smaller slope. All right, so let's look at negative slopes. So as our x increases, our y decreases, decreases, decreases. So these are all negative slopes, and they're going down if you read from left to right. And these numbers also show how the steepness is affected. So a -3 slope is a lot more steeper than a -1/7. And also, a quick refresher, when we're comparing rates of change, so if I'm looking at these two middle ones and I say, who's going faster? Neither, because the absolute value of both of these is 1. So the sign of the slope does not mean it's a greater or a less than rate of change. It just determines the direction. Quick note. All right, so I know you remember slope, but a quick recap. We know our formula is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1 because we're finding the change in y over the change in x to give us the rate of change. Here's another way to do it. If you are given a graph, you can count how far up, which is your rise, how far over, which is your run. Just make sure that you know, is it positive or negative depending on if the y is increasing or decreasing. So you can count it right on the graph, 4 up over 6, and that would get you the same slope as if you were to plug it into the equation. Something to be careful when you are doing rise over run is you want to make sure you watch for those scales. So if it's counting by 1, then you're good to go, but if it's counting by 2, make sure you're accounting for that. So watch those scales. All right, let's take a look at the solutions for the first couple problems. And then I'll give you a little freebie in there too. So for the first problem, you have to determine if the slope is negative or positive just by looking at the line. And so we want to look at, is the y increasing or decreasing as x increases? As we read to the right, from left to right, what's the y doing? And so in this case, as you read from left to right, the y is decreasing, making this a negative slope. So your explanation would be, this is a negative slope because as x increases, y decreases. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So this is negative because as x increases, y decreases. In the next problem, you can see I start you off. As x increases, y is increasing. So what kind of slope would that be? And then your little freebie down here. Obviously, I would write this down if you are, low battery. So we're going to wrap this up really quick. All right, so I'm going to show you of how to calculate slope with a table. And so we have change in x, change in y, set up our equation, change of y over change of x. You substitute those values in, you grab a handy dandy calculator, and you plug and chug and you get your slope. So if your number does not come out to be an easy number to write, leave it in a fraction form in the most simplified version. Or if it divides out to a decimal, then win-win, right? Because then you get a nice terminating decimal and that could be your answer. So the rate of change for this table is 3.5. So that's it for today, you guys. Let's quickly look back at your CFS. So make sure your explanations for the questions, if it's negative or positive, you're using the language as x increases, y is doing this, therefore it's negative, therefore it's positive. Okay, and then your slope formula, so you plug and chug everything accurately, don't mess up your x's and your y's, and all that jazz. I will see you guys in the sessions. Have a great time growing your math brain. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.